of RNG versus Victory 5. And a fun little fact before we get there. First Aurelion Sol pick of LPL Summer 2019 is going onto Victory 5. And let's see if it's a pocket pick or if it's you know, just something that should remain in solo queue and never see the light of day. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not getting baited this time.
Seems like there are no cheers happening today.
It just honestly feels like... No, there are cheers. I can see them. We're just not getting audio. Okay. It's like the LCK, except we're not allowed to hear them.
Oh, but I want to. But
I know, right?
Checking out the early laning phase, something really important here is if Rek'Sai can get priority over Karsa. If Ben4 can start the invade, they actually can gank mid lane quite easily. They can gank bot lane quite easy. So, ooh, tough trade.
Already going in, Ignite goes down, Flash burnt, Ignite and Exhaust used. Or sorry, just the Exhaust used. Ignite was used by the Pantheon and Summoner advantage. This is literally the strategy.
Yeah, very, very rough early start from RNG. They do have to teleport here, but you never really want to use that early. Now, talking about the shove, it seems like Xiaohu doesn't care about the shove.
Has to be careful though. Those stars can start to really hurt. Karsa in the mid lane has got Flag Drag and Flash. Flash burnt there though by Mole. And everyone just kind of backs away again. And Uzi, he's feeling punished now in this lane. This is the kind of first time we've seen him really under pressure in the series.
Yeah, last time around, even against the Kalista lane, he was doing fine. Now, taking a look at the runes and masteries here, we do see the Grasp of Undying top side. This is standard against the Aatrox, and for the rest of it, we do see the Conquerors instead of the Electrocute on Jarvan. So more looking forward to sustained trades, possibly with Ben 4 coming up rather than just the full gank potential.
And what's the build path now for this Aurelion Sol? Something we very, very rarely see anymore, unless you watch CLG, of course. And thank you very much for the runes as it comes up now. As he goes to the stopwatch, he's got the Time Warp Tonic as well. This is pretty standard. You know, I like the way he's kind of gone for it as well. But what do we see him building? What's the build path for this guy?
Well, the interesting thing is that he's actually not taking the Glacial Augment, which is the more standard way. We're seeing the Phase Rush here. So he's definitely thinking about the potential of being ganked. So I think the items are still going to be the same. I still think it's going to be GLP 800. I don't think the ROA buffs were enough to really replace that extra mana coming in from GLP, and it's just easier to chase targets down with the extra slow. But what the Phase Rush does give you most times is that it makes it a lot easier to evade ganks.
Xiaohu has snuck himself into this. Mole has no flash. There's the Flag and Drag, and it's going to be a pretty dead Aurelion Sol. That's just very, very unfortunate. Very greedy, to be perfectly honest, from the side of Victory 5's mid laner.
Yeah, he just expected that there was no one going to be there, but if you can see, V5 did not actually have any solid wards down, so they just kind of assumed that that was the case. What I'm more interested about is Karsa's pathing into the brush there. A lot of times what you see the Jarvans do is actually just preemptively wait. They could use an EQ combo, get in there, and just wait there. So V5... just that small gap in vision is a huge no-no against RNG.
And we see now, Ben 4 on this Rek'Sai has yet to be seen just yet. Max just going to try and put down a little bit of poke. You would imagine he wants to try and jump in to start off this play. Now they know he's there. Now they know there's a little bit of a danger coming in, but the Jarvan is on from the side as Aurelion Sol's jumping in onto this fight as well. There is the flash in to get the knock off. They're trying to burst down Uzi. They get him down straight away. Yumi says, see you later. Jumps onto Karsa, gets herself to safety.
And it seems like V5 believe in what I believe in. It's that if you can keep Uzi and the bot side of RNG down, then you can win against RNG. So I want to see how RNG actually choose to rebound against this. I don't think they're going to be able to claw their way back into being relevant in the bot side. So I want to know if RNG will finally decide to trade in another lane, try to have a strong topside setup, or are they just going to throw everything bot and make sure Uzi wins his lane?
Flash is still available for Max, can use it if he needs to. There's the Flag and Drag as well, but there's a lot of damage being chunked onto the Karsa there. They do trade out the jungler, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Both junglers down. Max flashes, but he's flashed back on top of him. Now Y4, no real place to go. He's trying to get away as fast as he can. The Harpoon, maybe go for something. There's one, there's two. Able to pick up that kill pretty damn easily. Xiaohu picks himself up 2 kills.
and I guess we have our answer.
Yep.
If bot lane's failing, throw everything at the bot lane. Make sure it wins.
What worked last game? Oh yes, that's right. Xiaohu got super fed as we go back to the start of this replay, and it's okay for V5 at the start.
This is really good from V5. It's exactly how they should play their composition. Aurelion Sol did have the advantage here, but Xiaohu's persistence in the lane really paid off. He stuck towards the bottom side, re-engaged. There was no backs in between any of these replays. It was just Xiaohu coming back in, and Mo left back towards the mid side. Y4 just V5 didn't have the communication to back off when they needed to, and RNG are handsomely rewarded for sticking there.
Very, very good start there again for Xiaohu. And, well, like you said, if first you don't succeed, try and try again. Uzi gets jumped on by Max, but he only did that for the Aftershock, as he eventually is going to fall to Uzi. And already we're starting to see a very similar pattern from Game 1 to Game 2.
If you want to gank RNG's bot side, you have to make sure you keep it down, because most of the time, I'd say 90% of the times, an RNG reaction to bot side losing is just full teleports, everyone go down there, make sure we win this one.
Oh, here comes the equalizer. Going to do a huge amount of damage. Rek'Sai just kind of kept himself there, but here's the TP coming in from Camille. Does drop the Hextech ultimatum. They trade back a kill. There's 1 for 1. So they look to try and go for something else. Now Y4 just on the wrong side of this. Xiaohu picks up another kill as the World Ender was popped. And Langjit is going to get to pick up this nice little stack of farm.
I think RNG are discovering the value of using Uzi as bait. I think they're finally waking up. Like
They discovered the impossible. What if we just don't give a damn about Ezreal because he's still Ezreal and just get everyone else fed?
What if we don't use Uzi as a carry, but use him just as a catfish, you know? As trying to get people there into the lane. This is working out terrifically for them. Xiaohu already 3-0-1 when he gets into this fight, unspotted at the start. Equalizer instantly deletes someone. And look at the entire team for V5. Their mentality here is this: at least we're going to kill Uzi. At the very least, we will kill Uzi.
I just want to call out Y4 there. He decided to stop and get his passive off on a pink ward just as he was leaving. And I probably wouldn't have saved him overall, but those are the kind of like small little things that maybe you get a little further away or something. I don't know.
30 gold.
It's if he got it, yes.
If he got it,
If he got it, which he sadly did not if you're a V5 fan. But Ben4 being a little bit more active this game than he was last, as he's trying to sneak his way up into his top side.
I'm a little bit sad about this.
Maybe he looks for something a little bit more.
No, Longstreet's not going to come out.
He did, and the flash was burned straight away. Good respect from the top laner of RNG, but a summoner burned nonetheless.
Just as I say that, he does go.
Cast a curse.
You know, this is V5 are recognizing that, damn, we probably can't do that much in the bot side anymore. So they're transitioning and putting their hopes top, where Longxing has been having a pretty good time. He did teleport after Ale, so coming out with a small CS lead there as well.
Here we go, round 2. Minion wave just hit nice and perfectly. They're going to try and just jump onto him. Tower just blocking him a little bit. I think they'll be able to juggle this pretty damn easily. As he gets him out, he should be dead just about. And here comes another fight off on the backside of that, as it's going to be Y4 taken down. And Max, he's just running around trying to dodge the 1 Q from the Yuumi, but you win 1, you lose 2, and that's just unfortunately the way it is when you're playing against RNG.
Yep. No priority coming in from the mid lane as well. Aurelion Sol being late to the punch once more. And the top side, surprisingly enough, Longxing actually able to trade 1 for 1. So once again, it seems like RNG are fully dominating.
And it doesn't, I don't like obviously saying that the game is over pre-10 minutes. But as we have a look at this bot side, let's see how this one went down. It's just they don't have any vision. And they, double knockoff. Yeah, there's just too much AoE. Not much he can do, unfortunately. Double kill for Uzi, gets himself back onto the board, gets himself some gold, as he was, as you said, rightfully focused from the side of V5. And so saying, I don't want to say that it's over, but it's not looking very good right now.
Definitely not. This has been one of Stake's favorites compositions since he was back in Flash Wolves as well. It's just the Cataclysm plus the Equalizer ultimate.
It's a classic.
It definitely is.
Put them in the pot and start boiling it.
Not a lot of outs there. The equalizer, it starts with 1,000 range and then it extends to another 1,000 range as well. So we see Xiao, whenever he's on this champion, really start to roam whenever he, on every single minion wave. You can do that past level 9 quite easily, even without his current items. If you just get the Flame Spitter, just like level 9, 1Q will clear the wave, and you can move towards the side lanes.
And where do you even try and go from here if you're Victory 5? Like, it's very difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because right now it's just covered with RNG wins, flags, and what do you do? Where do you go from this? Because your comp was supposed to win the early game.
I would actually go for the mid lane. I think the bot lane is very difficult to win out at this point, since RNG has actually regained lane priority now, just with the amount of kills they have. So what I would actually try to do is hard focus down Xiaohu. I think Xiaohu, he has a bunch of bounty gold on him, and at the end of the day, he's still a Rumble. He's still fairly easy to kill in this lane. So I would actually try to roam that, try to find that kill, and maybe wrestle the map back, coming in from Aurelion Sol in the mid lane.
We'll see if that's what the side of Victory 5 want to do. There's the culling just to try and push back RNG. Final chapter going to be the last book that the Pantheon reads, sadly, as he flashes away. Cataclysm comes in. Ben 4 is jumping in, but he's exhausted straight away. Karsa just taking up so much of this damage. Good shield and heal as Uzi's now in a little bit of trouble. They trade him for the jungler, and Y4 has nowhere to go. Now Mole might be in a little bit of trouble. That's a Yuumi and... Oh, good flash to keep himself in range. And he's burning that Aurelion Sol down 6-0 and 5. This Rumble is very much online.
How is Xiao getting to these fights always first? This is ridiculous on the Rumble. Just being able to outrun the Legend of Comet and just getting into the bot lane always on time. This is my issue with V5 going hard into the bot lane. They're too far behind. They just can't do anything here in the bot side.
5,000 gold already. It's a bit crazy.
Yeah, if you're pushed out like this, I think the far better play is just to have Pantheon try and roam mid. It creates a lot more opportunities here, and finally we're going to see Pantheon going towards the top lane. Wonder if Longxing's going to survive this.
No, he shall not. Big man drop up on the top side, and that's going to be a pretty standard kill, as the flash was still down on the Aatrox, so good timings from Victory 5, but that's one small step up of a very, very steep staircase.
Now still 5,000 gold behind, but it does give them a win condition. Camille can split push against Rumble quite easily. Of course, might still need a lot more items, but Camille has been considered one of those hard
in 30
counters
minutes
to
or so,
Rumble.
should be fine.
Yeah. Probably, I'd say 15. I'd give her 15. Enough.
Let's see if they even get there. I think that even that's a pipe dream at the moment as we come up to about the 14-minute mark. Plates just dropping now in about 20 seconds or so. Y4, he's gotten kills, so that's the one thing. He has gotten kills. As much as he's died, he has picked up the odd kill, and he's still ahead on CS. It's not impossible, like he said, but very, very difficult, especially when you have the Mercurial Crucible, on top of Ming now. So Ming able to stop people from getting CC, not needing to use a QSS tax.
Yeah, I really like this item. We've been seeing it more and more. There's a lot more Luxes in the meta as well. So that's been one of the big reasons people have started to remember this item. It's like, wow, this is great. And something a lot of people don't know about the Mikhails, it actually grants slow immunity as well. So the Rylai's is not going to hurt as much coming in from Mole either.
Let's see. Saw all the gold pop up there for a second. Rylai's, as he said, picked up by Aurelion Sol as he tries to defend this mid lane turret, and there's 4 people here. Could be a potential 4v4 fight, but this is where Rumble thrives. This is where you want to be fighting if you're the side of RNG. You've got the AoEs, you've got the lockdown, and more importantly, you've got the items.
Very good composition for a full all-out team fight coming in from RNG. Their comp just excels at it so well. They have burst damage. It's going to give Longxing an easy takedown. Whoever doesn't have flash is going to get Cataclysm instantly into Equalizer.
Oh, here we go. There is the Hextech Ultimatum, popped as well as the World Ender, and now just going to back away. Dragon goes down, mid lane turret goes down, all the objectives pretty much in favor of RNG as there's just no pressure.
Yeah, that was a good fight coming in from Alays, but he recognized that at this side of the map, he wasn't getting any help. So does decide to do the safe thing instead of the heroic play. Backs out.
Not really a lot else that they can go for right now. Game kind of slowing down a little bit as RNG just kind of pick up the quote-unquote standing gold that they've been able to acquire from multiple pressures and multiple lanes. Xiaohu probably going back to pick up his Zhonya's Hourglass. First turret of the game for Victory 5 going to fall as well. Almost towards the Triforce at the moment is the Camille. So then, like you said, it is a win condition. Not a very optimal one, but it's still one nonetheless.
Side lane split pushing. V5, this is something they do very well. Their comps a lot of times are set up for 1-3-1s. Taking a look at Xiaohu's items, this is actually a very safe build coming in from him. We've seen in his previous game he went for the Liandry's, and I just love Liandry's on Rumble. It's such a fitting item. You get the Madness procs with just 1 second of Flame Splitter.
Yeah,
that is so insane.
It's such a good poking tool, and you know, it means even if you were literally just getting a lick of flame onto someone, it can do a pretty sizable chunk if they're a squishy target. So, like you said, being a little bit more respectful, going towards that Zhonya's Hourglass first, does not want to lose that massive bounty that he's acquired for himself. You know, gold to give back over, and this could potentially be a fight. Summoners are all available for pretty much everybody on both sides. Do the side of Victory 5 want to contest this? And the answer straight away is just no.
Wow, nothing being answered here from V5. I'm actually a little surprised that they wouldn't be looking at this and seeing it as an opportunity. Instead, we have the jungler mid, and RNG pinging a lot of question marks there. Like, where are they going for?
I think the thing is that like they can't contest this Jarvan Rumble death couple. You know what I mean? Like they're just roaming around saying Cataclysm, either going to blow all your summoners, and then for the next fight we win, or we kill you. That's just kind of how it rolls right now. As we see, the potential play right now could be the play around this Camille, as we see both Mole and Ben4 hovering around this bot side. And maybe this is the play. Maybe this is the only play they have left.
There are no teleports on the map that can help Longxing if a tower dive does happen, but Longxing looks like he's playing it very, very safe.
Yeah, doesn't need to overextend. Should be totally fine just picking up all this CS on the tower, as I say that.
He does have a control ward in Tribrush. I wonder if that spotted anything.
Oh, we're going to see him jump over Hextech Ultimatum, but the rest of RNG are here. That Camille needs to flash away, and Uzi says, where the hell do you think you're going? Away, apparently. Doesn't want to chase any harder. Very hard to catch the Camille, but they can keep going. They can catch out Ben4 here.
And there's nowhere for him to go. Doesn't even want to flash on that one.
There's no point. I think he's dead to rights either way. Look. That's just more gold going over to the side of RNG, and they set up a play, but it took so long, and they were so deep, there's no way for them to escape.
RNG might leave their top laner alone in one side of the map, but they do set up good vision for him. That was 4 control wards on that side. V5, because they wanted to catch, they didn't really clear any of those control wards. They were just happy to let them stay there. And the what happened there was that they couldn't see RNG coming themselves. So
yeah,
another failed trade.
Tunnel visioned a little bit too hard. And let's talk about tunnel visioning as well. Like Aurelion Sol up on the top side picking up some farm and a turret, but it's not really worth it when you're losing tier 2s, you know, all the way around the map.
Yeah, V5 are just in full farm it out mode. Maybe we can transition to 1-3-1. I think that's their only current game plan. 6,000 gold behind at this point. And RNG are going to happily pick up another Ocean Drake. This is a bit of a relief for V5. I don't think Ocean Drake is something they necessarily need to contest. So it will give them a bit of time to just continue to farm up, maybe disregard the objective, and make sure Alaze gets enough farm.
Triple Ocean's where it's at, though. Look at that sick regen. I think triple of any Drake, regardless of how you think about it as a base stat, is just insane. Like, you ever see people with triple Cloud Drake? It's nuts. They're just so fast around the map.
Oh, yeah. What is it now? It's like 1% just flat whenever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And there's like extra 2.
I think it's 2% at all times, and then you get an extra 3% while out of combat. And that scales then towards the other Drakes. I'm not 100% on the exact numbers of it per Drake, because... to be honest,
you don't really see them that
Don't really see them that often being stacked because they're not really a high priority Drake. But like Triple Ocean, like yes, 1 Ocean, not the best. 2 Oceans, it's okay. 3 Oceans, Could potentially be
Oh,
a lot
here we go.
more, but here we go. Here's the man drop. Equalizer popped down as the... Oh, no. Xiaohu just going to be able to flash away, gets ignited. He will survive. And now here comes Uzi. There's no flash on Max. They tried to throw everything at him, and it just wasn't enough. As we say that, though, there's a fight coming up on this top side. They're trying to just jump on top of him. Max,
one more kill.
He wants this.
No.
There's the thumbs up.
That's
the
so
disrespect coming in. Mole in a lot of trouble. Gets Cataclysm. The cat taking down the dragon. And that's going to be another Ocean Drake. And honestly, right now, I feel like it's a matter of time until RNG go, yeah, cool, we can go home.
You know how Pantheon always wanted to be a baker? Well, Xiao showed him how. He just baked his teammate in front of him.
Yeah.
That was really cruel. He was
I think that was more of a barbecue than it was a pastry, I think.
Yeah, and the Q would have gave him the under 15% health execution. Like, it was a guaranteed critical strike, but Xiao just played the ranges so well. It just dangled his life in front of him.
The fact that Xiaohu threw out the emoji as well, just to be all like, hey, you can't get me. I know I'm out of range. And just beautiful there from the side of RNG. And they picked themselves up more objectives, more kind of pressure, more time. As I say that, though, oh, Max. Oh, Max. The buddy system, Max. Don't forget about the buddy system. Never go into your jungle alone.
I think whoever went with him would have died as well.
True.
He's sacrificing
but at
for
least
his
the
buddy.
system would have been a success.
The system would have been held in place. There are rules.
There are rules and regulations as the tier 2 goes down. And I feel like, you know, Victory 5, they won't be too down in the dumps about this particular loss in a series. RNG look insane as of this moment in time in the league, really hitting their stride as we come up to the road to playoffs. And Victory 5, unfortunately, they have a pretty difficult one to look at in terms of opponents. And they're just going to have to throw this series to the back of their head and just kind of forget about it.
Yeah, I do admire the way that V5 are playing this game. They're recognizing that, you know what, you just can't beat the team fights. There's no way.
Here we go.
So
potential 4v4 coming in. You can see V5, they were trying to give the Camille some time in that bot side, but just weren't able to stop everybody's backs. And unfortunately, when you're that deep, you can't not take the fight against Aatrox.
That was a good idea, though. Just watching Xiao outplay this once more. You can see the pings going down early. Pantheon with the man drop. I love this concept from V5. It's a very strong play. However, Xiao, who already with the Zanyas, actually takes away the W from Max as well. That was very well held onto his abilities. A lot of players would actually just use the Zanyas to block out the man drop, but he knew the W was the key there. Gets the kill. And we're not going to see the daunting in the
What is
Ben
Ben4 doing? But Ben4 just kind of stood up in that tri-bush where Langji is right now. Like, he just kind of stood there for like 10 seconds looking at the Aurelion like, nah, you got this. You can 2v1. I believe in you. Very big miscommunication as such. And you can see, actually, there's a replay. I think we had a death as we just came out of that replay as well as we come in. And, oh, dear. Yeah. Would it be any other way? Oh.
He's just having fun at this point. The last time there was a post-game interview, and the interviewer asked Xiaohu, why are you playing Rumble? And Xiaohu answered, this is for MLXG's barbecue shop. I know he's starting one, so.
Well, he's making a fantastic case for it. 8-0 and 8, and there is the red carpet onto the Cataclysm. It doesn't really line up that well, but look how much damage that this Karsa can just take on with the Gargoyle Stoneplate. There's just nothing for the side of V5 to do, to try and even get. Xiaohu, I've seen him go golden far too many times at this stage, and
can he at least get Karsa?
He will get one, but after that, don't think he's going to be able to do much else. He's going to have to run away. They lose another inhibitor turret, lose another inhibitor. Honestly, they could lose the game right now because there are super minions coming in from topside.
Only 6 seconds left on Mole. I think RNG will back off at this point. Baron is wide open. You know, they might be having a very good game at this point, but RNG are still going to play a bit slower. They actually are statistically one of our slower teams, so they do like to make things fireproof.
Yeah, take the 100% rather than the 98.
Yep, they are that type of a team, so we're going to see them just back out a little. And I really want to see what Mole actually tries to do with this Aurelion Soul. He's been styled on repeatedly. We actually saw Carson in the last replay just sidestep the Voice of Light. That was...
It's pretty clean.
Yeah.
Pretty clean.
Pretty cool to see that one happening. The things you can do with
and
zoomies.
He's having such an amazing series, and this Sterak's gets popped. That's not what you want to see just before a potential game-ending, series-ending fight. It's Victory 5. They shall not be getting their 5th victory of the LPL today. Sadly for them, it shall keep go a-wanting. And this is kind of, you know, it happens, unfortunately, when you're against arguably one of the best teams in the world.
It definitely does. RNG have been showing up to form very heavily, especially after Rift Rivals. It feels like they've gone up a notch.
Oh my god,
Wow.
that Rift, that just absolutely shredding through the entire side of Victory 5. They're done now. Game over. They picked up the last few items, and now they're looking to end the game. 4 quick, clean kills, 2 Nexus turrets, and a Nexus on top of a Fir Tree. And that is going to be enough for RNG to take the series 2-0.
I just wanted to see how much AP Rumble was rocking by the end. That was a single equalizer plus 2 hits